Good evening, everyone. The meeting will come to order. Madam Clerk, could you please read the adequate notice of compliance statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the City Clerk's office in preparation of the council meeting notice dated May 27, 2021, which was properly distributed and posted per statutory requirements. Please be advised that fire exits are to my right, your left, and at the back of the room. The city has a listening system to assist the hearing impaired. If anyone needs hearing assistance, please obtain the system at the dais and return it thereafter.
Thank you. Could we please have the roll call, Madam Clerk?
Ms. Allen? Here. Ms. Hairston?
Here.
Ms. Little?
Here.
Mr. Naidu?
Here.
Mr. O'Sullivan?
Here.
Mr. Vartan?
Present.
President Fox?
Here. Okay, thank you. And now, if we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, could you please read the notices regarding closed session and hearings and comments?
A closed session meeting as authorized by state statute was announced and held prior to the start of this meeting, and the known items for discussion were listed on the published closed session agenda. Please be advised that council meetings are broadcast live on Summit YouTube channel and Comcast Channel 36 and Verizon Channel 30, and rebroadcast on Thursdays and Saturdays on HTTV, on Comcast 36 and Verizon 33. When invited to speak, please come to the lectern, clearly state your name and address, spell your last name, and speak into the podium microphone so that your comments can be understood by all and properly recorded. Whenever an audience or council member reads from a prepared statement, please give or email a copy to the City Clerk's office at rlicatis@cityofsummit.org. To help facilitate an orderly meeting and to permit all to be heard, speakers are asked to limit their comments to approximately 3 minutes or so in length. Unless you are using an electronic device to follow the meeting agenda or needed for professional emergency contact purposes, please turn it off. Thank you.
Thank you. And now moving on to minutes for approval. We have regular meeting minutes for September 1st, as well as regular and closed session meeting minutes for September 21st. Do I have a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved. Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on, on to reports. Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. It is with great confidence that I will be appointing Captain Stephen Zagorski to be Summit's Acting Chief of Police on December 17, 2021. Captain Zagorski is a highly experienced 30-year veteran of the Summit Police Department and well qualified to guide the Summit Police Department during this period of transition. I want to address any misinformation that is circulating about the retirement of Chief Andrew Bartolotti. While his tenure as chief in Summit is short, his career in law enforcement in Summit is not. While I would have preferred to keep him in the role of police chief for a longer period, Andrew Bartolotti was absolutely the right person to lead the police department through the height of the COVID-19 pandemic and periods of social unrest. He is leaving the department better than he found it, and for that, I am extremely grateful. Any other speculation is unfounded and wrong. The Communications Office and the Summit Police Department are producing a series of videos on Halloween safety, pedestrian and bicycle safety, and distracted driving, and they will all be released over the next week or so. Be sure to check social media. All videos are available to view on the City of Summit YouTube channel as well. And finally, there have been several attempted entries into vehicles reported in locations in the city. By locking vehicles, we can deter crime and keep our neighborhoods safe. The vast majority of these vehicles have their keys or fobs in the unlocked vehicle. Please secure your vehicles when parked and always remove your keys. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And now moving on to the City Administrator for his report. Michael?
Thank you, Council President. Just two reminders. One, leaf collection started yesterday. Please place your leaves in a biodegradable bag and bring them to the curb, and that will run through December 3rd, weather permitting. And the second reminder is about parking and disposal permit renewals this month. So that will start tomorrow and run through the end of October. So please, online, we encourage people to visit online and renew your parking permits. And that's all I have for this evening, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. And now the Council President's report. I have 2 items. The Summit Free Market is this Saturday, October 9th, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Municipal Transfer Station. Now that there is an established schedule in the new building, the committee is looking for adult team leaders to partner with the student volunteers. This will involve working 3-hour shifts at events on the second Saturday of the month. Training is provided. Please email pressoffice@cityofsummit.org if you are interested or would like to learn more. Second is on Thursday, October 7th at 7:30 p.m., the Reeves Reed Arboretum will be hosting, in collaboration with the city's Shade Tree Advisory Committee, a 3-part, part 3 of its series, Fall in Love with Trees. This Thursday session features John Linson, the city forester, and John will take us on a journey through 120 years of tree planting and maintenance trends, highlighting the efforts that have been done to establish Tree City status for the city of Summit. The free program is being offered on-site at the Arboretum and is also available online. Check the Reeves Reed Arboretum website for details. And that's all I have. So at this point, we have a proclamation. Yes.
Thank you, Council President. And I would like to ask Joe Michello, who for the Summit Fire Department, and he's the fire code fire subcode official, and Deputy Chief Paul Mbimbo to join me at the podium. Whereas the City of Summit is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our state, and whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at greatest risk from fire, and whereas home fires killed more than 2,770 people in the United States in 2019, according to the National Fire Protection Association, and fire departments in the United States responded to 339,500 home fires. And whereas smoke alarms sense smoke well before you can, alerting you to the danger in the event of a fire in which you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape safely. And whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported home fires by half. And whereas Summit residents should be sure everyone in the home understands the sounds of the alarms and knows how to respond. And whereas Summit residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more well prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas Summit residents will make sure their smoke and CO alarms meet the needs of all their family members, including those with sensory or physical disabilities. And whereas the Summit Fire Department is dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas Summit residents are responsive to public education measures and are better able to take personal steps to increase their safety from fire, especially in their homes. And whereas the 2021 Fire Prevention Week theme, Learn the Sounds of Fire Safety, effectively serves to remind us it is important to learn the different sounds of smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Now, therefore, I, Nora Radist, Mayor of Summit, do hereby proclaim October 3rd to the 9th, 2021 as Fire Prevention Week throughout this city, and I urge all the people of Summit to learn the sounds of fire safety for Fire Prevention Week 2021 and to support the fire safety activities and efforts of the Summit Fire Department. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Summit to be affixed this 5th day of October in the year 2021. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for all the work you do, for protecting us, keeping us safe, and for certainly teaching us about the sounds. I mean, I never really thought about it, but the sounds of the alarms, I don't think I know the difference.
That's one of the messages that we're trying to reinforce this year is the differences between a beep and a chirp and tying all those messages.
Because I bet you a lot of people hear the chirp and think it's just the battery's broken or dead.
It could be, and it also could be after you change the battery. If it continues to chirp, it's a sign of the end of the life cycle of the unit. Those are some of the things that we're incorporating.
Well, thank you, and you'll be working with the schools and everyone else.
Something new every day.
Excellent.
Appreciate your support.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you to the fire department and fire prevention folks. And now we're moving on to public comments. So at this point in the meeting, members of the public have an opportunity to comment on any matter not on the agenda. And if anyone would like to come up, I'd ask that you state your name and address and try to limit questions to 3 minutes. And if you have a written comment, please give it to the clerk. So come on up. Good evening, Mr. Miniger.
Hi, Andrew Miniger, 15 Edgar Street. So I'm asking this on behalf of a lot of residents that I've spoken to recently. They're all very curious about the sidewalk and road repaving process in the city. So as part of the sidewalk master plan and prep for road repaving, has the city ever considered building into that process an analysis of traffic or speeding on those streets? And the thought being it would lump together communication to residents as well as the work being done on the street.
Okay, thank you for your comment. I'm going to take all the comments and then we'll respond after that. Are there any other public comments? Okay, so I'm going to close the comment period. And Mr. Schrager, would you be willing to address this issue?
Absolutely. Through you, Council President.
Of course.
Roads and sidewalks, they're dependent and they can be independent. So I'll just start with roads. The engineering division does rate every road in the city annually. We have a criteria we go through. It's primarily just a driving assessment that we do. And the roads then get scored. There's extra points added or deducted really for lack of curbing or bad curbing or drainage. And we use that when we create the capital plan. So that's how roads are done. Some roads are chopped into segments because we have chopped them up, but there's like 260 road segments that we do rate. That's on the city's website through the Division of Engineering. Sidewalks, we do have the sidewalk master plan that details all the locations that the city intends to install sidewalks at some point in the future. This was really the first year that we implemented the program in earnest. So we had about 8 projects that went through the Safety Committee and the Capital Projects Committee. As part of those, some of it is resident feedback, some of it is if it's a school walking route, pedestrian traffic, vehicular traffic quantities, speed studies if we have them and if it's warranted. So those factors are all analyzed before we bring it to the committees, and that's where we make the decision on what sidewalks to move forward on. So at times those sidewalks could be part of a road project or they could be standalone independent projects.
Got it. And I think the other part of the question was traffic calming measures, speed bumps, other things like that. Do you look at those as part of this process?
We do, absolutely, for the road projects. So for instance, Butler Parkway was a project that was done that we knew from resident feedback and from our own studies that was an area that definitely warranted some traffic calming, which is why we did road narrowing, some of the striping, and then the raised intersections. We also have the traffic calming guidelines, which is online, which residents can use, and that's really the tool to request it on their street. Because with 200 road segments, we can't tell you every street has what the traffic patterns are and speed on all of them. So if we do get that feedback, that could start the process that will then go analyze those segments to see if it does meet the warrants identified in the guidelines.
Great, thank you so much. All right, so I guess we're moving on now to resolutions. Councilmember Vartan, we've got one finance resolution.
Yes, thank you, Council President. So this is resolution number 9157, And this resolution authorizes the issuance of a note in the amount of $585,000 through the Water Bank Construction Financing Program, which is part of the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank. As I've mentioned many times before, Summit is one of the founding members of the Joint Meeting, a wastewater treatment facility, and one of the oldest examples of shared services in the history of New Jersey. So they are in the process of a multi-phase flood mitigation infrastructure plan. This is Summit's portion of the project, and 90% of this cost will be reimbursed by FEMA. So I move to adopt this resolution.
Second.
Are there any comments from members of council? Comments from members of the public? Okay, hearing none, we will do a roll call vote on this. Madam Clerk?
Ms. Allen?
Aye.
Ms. Hairston?
Aye.
Ms. Little?
Aye.
Mr. Naidu?
Aye.
Mr. O'Sullivan?
Aye.
Mr. Vartan?
Aye.
President Fox?
Aye, motion carries. All right, so we're moving on. We have 2 capital projects and community services resolutions. Councilmember Little?
Thank you, Council President. The first capital projects resolution is number 7942, and it's to authorize the online auction of unneeded city equipment and unneeded vehicles. As you are, as most are aware, in our capital budget, we allocate funds to purchase new equipment every year that needs to be replaced, and these are vehicles that have been replaced and equipment in the community services program that has been replaced because they are past their useful life. And now we are seeking to do an online auction to recoup some of the costs for the new equipment and put this older equipment to use with another municipality or some other entity. So I would ask that we authorize this online auction of unneeded vehicles and equipment.
I second it.
Are there any comments from members of council? Comments from members of the public? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we're moving on to capital projects number 2. Councilmember Little.
Thank you, Council President. This is Resolution 9153, and this is to declare vacancies in the Division of Public Works. As we had discussed earlier with the untimely passing of Brian McGovern, we have 2 vacancies that have arisen in the Public Works that these arise from promotions within the department to fill his position. So there's an operator position and a maintenance work position that need to be declared vacancies. And pursuant to the closed session discussion, I ask that we approve this resolution.
Second it.
Are there any comments from members of council? Comments from members of the public? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So now we're moving on to the consent agenda, and I understand we have a resolution from the floor. Councilmember O'Sullivan?
Thank you, Council President. This resolution from the floor is to grant permission for the use of the community center for a Thanksgiving Day luncheon. On Thanksgiving Day, from 12 noon to 3 p.m., the Summit Department of Community Programs will be hosting a free luncheon for all community members in need of a Thanksgiving Day meal, as well as all frontline first responders working on Thanksgiving Day. This event will be staffed entirely by volunteers from Grace, the Oaks Center, and the Department of Community Programs. And Flag of Summit will provide 500 hot meals. If you don't know Flag of Summit, it stands for Frontline Appreciation Group, and it is an all-volunteer nonprofit started by Katie Darcy. Flag has been supporting frontline workers and local restaurants during the pandemic. Flag will be sourcing the meals for the Thanksgiving luncheon primarily from Summit restaurants. If you are interested in volunteering for this worthy event, please reach out to Amanda Block from Grace. You can reach her through the Department of Community Programs office. And I ask that we approve this resolution.
I second.
Okay, so do we vote separately on that one?
No,
or-
now that he's added it, you
Okay,
can
now we
now
can
vote
just-
as for the whole.
Okay,
Now
so-
you need a motion to.
So do I have a motion for the entire consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And I guess we are now, we're now on to council members' comments and new business. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say?
Very quickly.
Go
Very
ahead,
quickly,
Councilmember Vartan.
Yes, thank you, Council President. Just a moment to speak about the budget process. So it seems like only yesterday we passed the 2021 municipal budget. This month, department heads begin submitting their budgets to Administrator Michael Rogers. Next month, department heads will discuss those budgets in committees, in council committees. Then in December, we host the capital budget workshop. We usually have an average of one member of the community for those meetings. But I'm using this opportunity now to put it on everyone's radar early and advocating that you plan to attend this exciting opportunity to learn about the potential projects, ask questions, and speak up about how council will invest resources, infrastructure, and other important projects while simultaneously controlling our debt. People of Summit saw an overall tax decrease this year, and that's not easy. It's because of the hard work of the people sitting here, in addition to responsible budgeting from the county, and we will continue to advocate that every tax dollar spent is done so responsibly while maintaining the high level of service that the people of Summit deserve. So that's my quick thing. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Vartan. Does anyone else have anything? Councilmember O'Sullivan.
I do, yeah. Tomorrow night is the final concert of the summer concert series at the Village Green. The Nerds are playing tomorrow night, and we're going to start at 6:30 because it's getting darker earlier. The Nerds, for those that don't know, they're a famous cover band that really played a lot of Jersey Shore towns, and it's going to be a great show. I will be there if I don't have this meeting tomorrow night, but otherwise I'm going to be there, so you'll see me front and center.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember O'Sullivan. Anyone else have any comments? All right, so do I have a oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay,
no problem. Yep.
I just want to speak very briefly on my own behalf. This is just from me. We are 3 weeks away from the election, and I would make an appeal to everyone in this community to dial down the noise. Everyone on this dais, and frankly, everyone on this dais for the last 6 years that I've been mayor, have worked really hard, no matter where their political party, to do what's best for the city of Summit and for all the residents. And I am confident that that will continue to be the case. We all want what's best for our town. And I've had the great pleasure and honor of being the mayor of this town for almost 6 years and working with a lot of great people. So I just hope you'll look at the issues, you'll consider, talk to your neighbors, you'll consider what your concerns are, and cast your vote in a manner that works for you. And let's keep the partisanship out of it to the extent that we possibly can. And again, this is my opinion. I'm not speaking for council. Thanks.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Are there any other comments? Okay. So hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good night, everyone.
That's the shortest meeting yet.